Guys, this is Tracy and this is my Elise guide. So my runes for my Elise will be the attack damage queens and then hybrid penetration marks, armor seals and cooldown reduction glyphs. You can also replace your glyphs with magic resistance based on your preference and depending on the opponent's setup as well. As for your masteries, I will run 2190 focusing on hybrid penetration, so I'll be having brute force, mental force, martial mastery and the arcane mastery as well as the devastating strikes. As for my defensive tree, I take a lot of health and health regeneration as well as block, and I did not take anything for my tough skin as well as my bladed armor because I'll be using my Sweaterlings to tank most of the jungle minions damage. As for my item setup, I usually start off with a machete. You can also start off with the Doran's blade depending on your preference as well. I prefer to go for the safe start with the machete and 5 pots, and then I pick up a sweeping lance as well. So during my first bag, I'll usually go for the spirit stone and my boots, and then what I'll be focusing on will be health and cooldown reduction. So the best health item and cooldown reduction would be the spirit of the ancient golem, which should be your core item for almost every game. And this is usually hunting guys is usually a luxury item, so if you're doing well, you should actually get this early on since it's a really good item. So as for your boots, you can either get this really early or really late. It depends on your preference as well. So usually I will either run the mobility boots or the sorcerer shoe, depending on how the game goes as well. So after you get your spirit of the ancient golem and your hunting guys as well as your boots, you should be focusing more onto being a tank. So being a tanker, usually there will be only a few items. So it's either the Randuin's Omen, which focuses on champions that have a lot of auto attack. So Randuin will be a really good counter to that, and then Sunfire will help you in your clearing as well as providing you with a decent amount of armor, as well as the Rocket Iron Solari, which is an upgrade from the Aegis of the Legion. And this Rylise is also a luxury item where you can actually get this if you're doing well and you require a bit more ability power. And Frozen Heart is actually a really good item on Elise since it provides a lot of cooldown reduction. Mana isn't too important, but the armor and the cooldown reduction really helps out Elise in a lot of ways. Spirit Visage is also a decent item, especially against magic heavy composition. So picking Spirit Visage will actually provide you with a lot of cooldown reduction as well and magic resistance to counter out the damage from the opponent's magic damage. So as you can see, I'm heading to top right now after finishing up my jungle camp. I just want to point two mistakes that I made here. So one, I was a bit impatient in this gang. I did not wait for Elise to use up his escape or anything. And secondly, I forgot to anticipate the incoming minion wave. So as an Elise player, you shouldn't be making a mistake on the second part. So meaning that your cocoon is a one target stun and it lands on the first target it hits. So if it actually lands on a minion, your gang is pretty much dead. And you don't want that to happen. An opportunity arises. So if you actually manage to land your cocoon, you actually have the kill, and it makes it a lot safer for your laners to actually pick off a kill on the enemy team. So as you can see, another mistake I made here was that I didn't know where Javan was, and I still engaged onto Katarina and almost killed both of us, but we managed to pick off the Katarina and actually losing off one kill here. So as an Elise player, you shouldn't be too aggressive and should know where's your opponent at all times, so that mistakes like this won't actually happen and gangs can be executed better. So as you can see, I'm actually doing my white, and I'm going to show you quickly how Elise gang undiscovered using the side bush for the top lane and bot lane. So in this example, I'll be in the top lane, I'll be sneaking into this bush and ganking this Lee Sin. So I engage and then I'll spam my neurotoxin and then I'll follow up with Spider Form's Venom Spike. So as you can see, Lee Sin didn't know I was coming, so he didn't really get to retaliate to my gang as well as Javan. So in the next two examples, I'll show you the direct lane gang utilizing Elise Spider Form and closing the gap with Rumble. So in this example, you see in the bot lane here, I'll be pushing towards the Caitlyn and Zyra combo. So first, that lands a very nice arrow on Caitlyn. I managed to rappel the Caitlyn since she actually didn't flash too early, and that actually caused a lot of problems. I managed to pick up Zyra, changing to Spider 4 and finishing long with the flash, and then I managed to land another kill on Caitlyn with the help of so that was a Zyra lane gang where I actually landed onto a champion, and I managed to pull off the gang from a very, very distant without using my flash. But I used my flash eventually for the kill onto Zyra. So here's another example where the champion is not in range, but there's so I actually engaged with my spider form. I landed onto the minion, and Katarina has nowhere to go. So I managed to land the first hit, and then I managed to pick up the kill after chasing her for a while. And the thing here is that I actually managed to pick up this kill was that my spider form actually gives me a boost of move speed. So I managed to hunt down the Katarina because I had highest move speed, and I had move speed Queen 16. So move speed is also another good option for me, so that you can actually catch up with people or make an escape. So here I'm just going to soak up more lanes as we move on to our next stage. Display, I will show you a perfect combo utilizing the blind spot on the map as an Elise player. So I noticed that there was no ward here, and then this little curve on the tri-bush was actually a blind spot. So I walked out and Zyra didn't actually saw me. So I actually landed my W and Q first, and then I landed my pistol. So I will lock her there longer after spamming on my skill. And then I just follow up the kill with my Venomous Bite and my attack speed boost from the W. And I managed to pick up another kill. So usually what people does is that they actually land the skill. But in the case where people don't realize that they're actually in a bush, you can actually engage your W and Q, and after you land your cocoon, and then you switch to your spider form and bite, and you can actually increase the number of times you actually hit her with your W on. So you can actually dish out more damage, which is also a very neat trick for an Elise player. So in the previous clips you can actually see that I use Rappel as an engaging tool, but in this clip I'm going to show you how I use Rappel as an escape tool. So as you can see, I'm stuck in a sticky situation where I'm trying to camp the bot lane. So I quickly Rappel into a minion and I managed to escape the situation I was in. So now that you know that Elise can use his Rappel for both escaping and Elise can also use his Rappel to avoid screenshots. For example, Caitlyn's ultimate, as well as Fizz's ultimate and the Requiem from Cutters. So by managing your timing well, you can actually prevent a lot of damage onto your Elise, which allows you to play a more damage heavy build if you're confident with timing, avoiding skill shots. Also, Rappel can be used as a quick way to move around. As you can probably see soon that I'll be jumping from the middle lane to the jungle camp. As you can see, I'm walking here towards the Wraith camp, and then I just hop over this wall really quickly. But one thing you don't want to do is that you actually get caught in the jungle by doing this. You will actually get punished by the opponent's jungler. So you have to know when to use your Rappel and when not to use your Rappel, even in team fights as well. So a quick tip you can do is how to launch your spider link towards the enemy you want it to land on. So usually you'll be blocked by minions. So what you can do is you shoot your spider link out to this way, and you change to spider form and kill this guy, and then your spider will fly into the target you just beat. So it works almost every time. So what you can do is you just W out and then shoot it, and thing will just fly towards you. Another tip is that remember that I said that you shouldn't put yourself in danger. What you can do is that you can also use your spider link to check a push. So for example, you just aim from there, and you can actually see that I managed to get vision inside the bush, and I was able to detect an enemy there and prevent myself from getting into any unwanted danger. So this next tip I'm going to show you is that how you can use your rappel as an vision tool as well. So you see I rappel up here, I can actually see Zareth on the other side also. So I wouldn't have to put myself in any unwanted danger. So that's another quick tip you can use. So that's it from me, and that's my Elise guide. If you like it, you can click the like button, and you can subscribe me on YouTube as well. Thank you very much.